This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
What is going on, guys? Jay Shy here with another video, and this video is a response video to one of my good friends, XcornmuffinX. You guys know him. He's Joe. His name is Joe, but he goes by XcornmuffinX, and he did a video of his top 5 favorite PlayStation Vita games. And I figure, I mean, I love the Vita. I have a couple of Vita games, and I should probably do one as well. Another person who did this exact same thing was Playongo. Playongo did his top 5 PlayStation Vita games as well, and I watched both of theirs, and I was like, you know what, let me put my 2 cents in here, because I know there's a couple of PlayStation Vita games that are a couple of my favorites, and I can pick 5 of them. So let's start with the first one. So the first one is a game that not many people enjoyed, but I enjoyed it quite a bit, and it is Mind Zero. Mind Zero is a first-person dungeon crawler that kind of is reminiscent to somewhat like Persona. It's not a blatant ripoff of Persona. The music tries to get there. Some of the characters, the school aspect is there. Not like social links is not there, but it does enough things in the game to have its own identity. I enjoyed this game quite a bit, where in Persona you would use a magic spell, and then all of a sudden your persona would come out, and then it'll do some stuff. In this game, your mind, which is basically like the persona, is like a separate thing. So you have your main character, and your mind, when you summon it, works as like a secondary barrier of like a line of defense for you, and it has its own strengths and weaknesses, and it can also do magic spells. But you have to kind of micromanage between your main characters and your main party and your party's personas or minds, because if the mind's life goes down, it leaves the main characters open to attack, and the main characters are not as strong as the minds. So I enjoyed this game. A lot of people gave it a lot of flack, but I thought it was pretty cool first-person dungeon crawler. It's fairly easy. It's not difficult. I think this game is pretty hard to find. I'm not really entirely sure, but I know every time I go into a GameStop, I never see this game. So Mind Zero is my 5th game on my list. I think it's pretty good. Next is another first-person dungeon crawler. And it is Operation Abyss. I like Operation Abyss is kind of like a in my opinion, I would say it's like an updated version of Labyrinth Crossblood. Labyrinth Crossblood is a first-person dungeon crawler that I don't think we got here in the States, but Operation Abyss is kind of like a cyberpunk first-person dungeon crawler. The problem that I have with this game, although I like this game and I really enjoyed it and I put a lot of time into this game, one of the things that kind of irks me about this game is that none of the weapons or gear are very sci-fi-ish. They're just kind of like your basic swords and axes and stuff like that. But where the game kind of takes a cool experimental twist is with the blood. So a lot of your characters, or the party that you create, your teammates, have like kind of like a bloodline to like certain types of gods, and that will kind of show you their attributes, what they'll be later on, and what are they strong against, what are they weak against, where their stats will grow and lie. So this game has a lot of things to experiment with, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed running through the dungeons of this game, but it obviously, like, it's an experience game, right? Experience made this game. They developed this game, and it does feel like it's just like an updated version of some of their older first-person dungeon crawlers, like Labyrinth Crossblood and Class of something. I forgot what it's called, but it does feel like that. But I do enjoy Operation Abyss, and it's one of my favorites. Next is a game that I a door on the Super Famicom, and it had an updated version, so I had to buy it. And it's Umahara Kawase. This is Sayonara, right? Yeah, Sayonara Umahara Kawase. And this is a puzzle platformer that you play as a girl with kind of like a fishing hook, and you kind of have to like swing her around and kind of like solve certain platforming puzzles to get out of the level. This game is, me personally, I preferred the Super Famicom version to this one, but this game isn't terrible. It's not bad, and I did play a lot of this game. A friend of mine got me this game because he knew how much I liked Umahara Kawase. So I ended up playing this game, and I got addicted to it because the updated version has some interesting things. Like there's kind of like a physics gravity system kind of thing. That sounds stupid, but I guess I can explain it like this. So let's say if the character is on a standing on a platform, and there's a slope, and there's an enemy fish on the other side. If you try to reel, and there's like a pit somewhere, if you try to reel that fish in and the fish falls into the pit, the weight of the fish will drag you into the pit with it. So I don't remember that in the Super Famicom one, but it's in the updated version. So I think that was an add-on probably, but it's still a great game. You got a bunch of different characters that I see in this game, but I also see them in another game, which is a fighting game called Blade Strangers that I enjoy. But there is no story to this game, but it's just a puzzle platformer, and I'm addicted to the older version because I play the newer one, but I much rather play the older version, and I pop this in to my PlayStation TV and I play it every now and then. But it has both the Super Famicom version and the newer version on this, so that's number 3. Number 2 is one of my personal favorites. You guys know how much I love this game on the PlayStation Vita. I adore this game. I put tons of hours into this game because I enjoy it so much, and it is Stranger of Sword City. This is another experience, first-person dungeon crawler. I have like an addiction to like building parties. Like, I like when a game gives you the option to customize a party the way you want, and I get addicted to that, and this game has that. You guys can see some of my older footage. I did do like a gameplay run of me playing the game, running through a dungeon, fighting bosses and stuff like that. But this game is addictive. I love this game. It's punishing though. It can be punishing, especially if you're not really into first-person dungeon crawlers, because it does have permadeath. Like if anybody in your party dies, they're dead. They're gone for good. Unless you you put the game there's like an easier mode where if your character dies, they're dead. But if you allow them to recover in the hospital, which takes a while, if you allow them to recover, they will recover. The thing with that is like a lot of times when your character will die, you'll leave them in the hospital, and you'll run off and pick somebody from your reserves, and your characters will level up, and then that character will get left behind kind of. So this game is really, really fun. It's brutal, but it's rewarding, and I love it. And I love the fact that the whole job system in this game is addicting as well. Having a character who used to be a knight, not a knight, but like an archer, and then you turn him into like a ninja assassin, and you're like an archer who is a ninja. It's like so cool. Like you get to kind of play around with stuff like that. Next and last but not least is a game that I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. Is a game that I feel a lot of people forgot about, and I think that a lot of people should get this game. I love this game. I love it so much that I bought it also on the PlayStation 3 and played it on there. But this game is Lost Dimensions. Lost Dimensions is a tactical strategy RPG with like like some kind of Ace Attorney Danganronpa kind of thing happening, because all the characters on the case could be traitors in your game. Every time you play the game, there's always a new traitor. So there's like 11 characters. I think it's 11, right? I think it's 11 characters. But you have this team of people, and you have to run through a dungeon. And on every floor, you suspect that there is someone who is a traitor amongst your group. You have to find out who that traitor is before you leave that floor, so that the wrongful person isn't deleted from your game, or killed, whatever. They call it deleted. But if you level up that character, don't worry, like when they die, all their skills you can put to other characters, which was pretty cool. Because it would suck if you're like, oh, you get so attached to a character, and then you level them up and you give them all the best stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, they're a traitor, and then they'll die, and then you lose all that stuff. But that's not how it works here. But Lost Dimensions is so good. One of the things I love about this game is that even if you know that this character is a traitor, you just can't be like, oh, that person's a traitor, let's kill them. That's not the way it works. You have to convince everyone in the party that that person's the traitor. And I love that aspect of this game. That and tweaking everybody's skills and stuff. And then running through it is pretty fun. I enjoy this game a lot. The battle system kind of reminds me of like a hybrid of like Hyperdimension Neptunia. It kind of reminds me of that, where you kind of have a spear grid and you can move the characters around in at certain distances, and then give them a number of attacks and stuff like that. But if you've never played Lost Dimensions, I highly recommend Lost Dimensions if you can find it, for sure. But anyway, that is my top 5 Vita games. To be honest with you, let's see if I can find it. If I were to pick, like, if I didn't have Umahara Kawase, my pick would definitely be Criminal Girls, which is a dungeon crawler RPG as well, but it's not first person. But I enjoy Criminal Girls as well. Criminal Girls, although to level up the females in the game is very explicit, because you have to like spank them, which is weird. You have to spank them in order to level them up and give them new skills and stuff like that. The game is actually pretty fun. I enjoyed this RPG as well. If I didn't have Umahara Kawase, Criminal Girls would have gone on that list too, because I think Criminal Girls is a pretty cool balanced RPG as well. But anyway, that is my total picks of my top 5 PlayStation Vita games. If you guys want me to do a video on my PlayStation Vita collection, which I do have quite a bit, it's not like hundreds, it's like a couple, like 20, maybe 25. Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know how you guys feel about this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.